All right, so welcome to the first video of a series of videos for beam analysis. So we're going to start from the very beginning of what a beam is and how we can analyze and design a beam. So before we analyze a beam, we need to understand a few concepts. So this video is going to be on reactions. So the first thing, we need to understand what a beam is and what its function is, right? You might have a beam that's kind of like this, draw a 3D beam, and this beam might be attached. There might be, say for example, it might be a wall here, it might be attached to a wall, or there might be a column here attached to a column, right? And then this column goes into the ground. So the function of the beam is to distribute loads to the supports, right? So we might have, say, we might have like just a person here, like could be anything, but let's just say we have a person here standing on the beam, or a force, and this force is going to get distributed to the supports. Some of this weight, we don't know how much, will get distributed to the wall, and some of it will get distributed to the column. So beam analysis is trying to figure out how much of this weight, it could be a person, it could be another beam running across here, it could be scaffolding, it could be anything, could be the roof. So we need to understand how much of that weight will be distributed to one support or the other, or it might have multiple supports, right? So that's what beam analysis is, and that's how we can determine what kind of beam we can use or what dimensions we can use for the beam. All right, so now we have the general idea of what the beam does. So what do we look at when we look at the reactions? So there's three really common reactions that we have. The first condition that we look at is a fixed beam, right? So say for example, we have a person standing here on the beam, right? This person's gonna push down on, he's gonna have a force or a weight that's gonna push down on the beam. So this beam here at this point is not moving at all. So if we remember our physics law that any action or any force will produce an equal and opposite reaction. So if I have someone weighing down or standing here, at this point where it's fixed, we're going to have an identical force pushing up at this point. Because he's standing at a distance from this point, we're also going to have a moment, right? So we're going to have a moment going to be pushing down around this point and at this distance. So we need to have, because this beam's not moving, we need to have a moment counteracting that, right? In this direction. We need to have a moment in this direction going around this point equal to this moment. And then finally, maybe we have someone here pushing this beam, right? So he's gonna be pushing this beam in this direction, right? We're also gonna have, because there's a wall here, we're gonna have a force pushing back, right? And it's gonna be equal to how much he's pushing. So for a fixed support, we're gonna have three reactions. We have a reaction in the Y, reaction in the horizontal, and we have a moment, right? So we're gonna have these three conditions. So the next condition that we have is a pin support, right? The difference between the pin and the fixed is that it can't carry a moment. So if we have the same condition here, this person, so we have a person here standing on this beam, because it's like a hinge, it's like a door hinge, right? So this beam is gonna just fall. It's just gonna fall, or it's gonna keep turning until it reaches maybe the floor. So there's no moment reaction, but it can carry a vertical reaction. And if we have someone here again pushing this way, right? We have someone pushing in this direction, we'll have a reaction here. So for the pin support, we have two reactions. We have a vertical and a horizontal reaction. And the last one that we have is that we have the roller support, right? Sometimes it's drawn like a circle, or it might be drawn like a triangle with two circles like this, right? So we have a roller support, and the roller support only carries, it's like the pin where it can't carry a moment, but it can only carry a vertical reaction. So we have, so say for example, if we had like something like a skateboard or something, someone's pushing here like a skateboard, the skateboard is going to move, right? It's going to move. We have someone riding the skateboard, right? It's going to move, it's going to roll. It's just going to keep rolling. So it can't have a reaction going in this way. It doesn't carry any reaction, right? So the roller will only have one reaction. This is the difference between, if we have a look, these are our three supports or three conditions that we need to know in order to analyze. right? So from these three conditions, we can then develop our equations using this concept. So in the next video, that's what we'll look at.